Hi there, students. Propaedeutic. Propaedeutic. Okay, a very formal word. If something is propaedeutic, this is an adjective that describes preliminary information, a preliminary course that you need to do in order to understand or be able to deal with something more complicated. It's preparatory instruction. It's something introductory. And the way I see it is all education is propaedeutic. When you learn to write, well, this gives you ability to write projects, to do various different things. When you learn basic mathematics, 1 + 1 = 2, this is preparatory instruction. It's propaedeutic instruction, helping you to study further. That once you've got one piece, then you can put another block on top. And for me, this is the idea of propaedeutic. Although we have the idea of a propaedeutic degree, this is the equivalent of a first year at university. It's like a British certificate of higher education. It's something that you can get after the first year of a 3-year study course. And this is what is known as a propaedeutic diploma. Yeah, it's when you start as an undergraduate, you get a propaedeutic qualification. So propaedeutic, this is an area of study that gives you an introduction so you can study something further. So it's a preparatory stage for something more complicated. The initial lessons that lay the groundwork for more advanced knowledge. So, for example, in chemistry, you need to learn the basics. You need to learn about the periodic table. You need to learn why it's that shape. You need to learn about why different elements react in different ways. And it's a preparatory stage, because once you've learned that, then you can go on to the next stage. So a propaedeutic course is something preliminary for something much, much more complex. Yeah, a propaedeutic course, a period of training, is propaedeutic to a new role. Perhaps in business or in a company, they want to promote you, but first of all you need a propaedeutic training period so that you actually know what you're doing when you take over that new job, you take over that new role. So this propaedeutics, this is the rudimentary, basic, preliminary education, normally introductory for an art or a science. I'm thinking propaedeutic for music, perhaps learning an instrument or learning how to read music, or the history of art. There are so many propaedeutic things that you could learn. But as I said at the beginning, I think all learning is propaedeutic, because we put one thing on top of another, on top of another. And the more basic things you know, the more scope you have for learning more complicated things. I think it's like with language. You learn how the basic tenses work. You learn how a basic auxiliary verb works. And this is propaedeutic for more complicated things like perhaps the first certificate or the CAE. Yeah, it's a preliminary course. Now, this comes from from Greek, propaedeuo, pro before, and paideuo, to teach. So to teach before, it's what's taught before, it's preparatory education. Very often considered the first year of university, where you're being prepared to learn more complicated things. Formality, wow. I'm going to give it an 8, a 9. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it an 8 in formality, 8.5 in formality. So, propaedeutic. Bye for now.